How long you? This was your spot. How long you been here?
I've been here since 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 7 years.
Alright.
hmm
Hmm.
I gotta do
Well, I'm
more.
up here all the time. So like when cause like I said, I work for Verizon. So
Oh,
I was in Easton today.
yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta do a better job of promoting my barbershop because everybody from the DJ Focus world, yo, they come in here and be like, "You cut hair?" I'm like, "Nigga, everybody should know that." I've had my barbershop been open for 12 fucking years out here. Like, like everybody should fucking know this already. Like,
Yeah, I
am I
was
live
saying.
again now? You went back live. All right, all right. Hold on. Let me get this right. Now I gotta resend all this stuff out. Alright, before I do that though, let's get to our next topic real quick. I think we did a good job with that.
I
You
agree.
know what I'm saying? Alright. Vaccines. Do you believe in vaccines? Do you believe in taking vaccines? Did you take the COVID vaccine?
I did not,
Okay.
and that is one reason why I love unions. So there was a lot of companies throughout this country that was somewhat trying to institute a mandate. Verizon tried to. My union said, "Fuck you," and we did not do it. But what Verizon tried to do, they said we would basically pay you if you were to get it.
Okay.
But I still didn't get it. I don't know the last, and this sounds crazy because I don't know if I should be getting shots, but um, I can't think of the last shot as an adult that I've basically gotten myself.
Okay, so you got kids?
Nope.
You don't got no kids. 38 years old, no kids. Why you don't
Nope.
got no kids? Why would you say?
I've had 2 long relationships, um, and just picking the wrong people, man.
Picking the wrong people. So you
Yeah.
would like to have kids?
Oh, I would love to have kids.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of no good ass women's is out here. So let me ask you: did you ever have anybody have an abortion?
So to be honest, yes.
Did you want the abortion? That's a no.
Well, no, because it's like
Nigga, you ain't want that.
nah, because I got because to be quite honest, after like reflecting and then after just like letting the dust settle when I actually think about it, it wasn't about me. So I true like she was in school, adult. Like let me just be very clear, fucking.
Did you before you go into the spiel on the
Okay.
word salad? Did you want to keep the kid? Keep it
I,
real.
I did.
Okay.
I did, but
Okay.
not
Okay.
not.
Okay.
But wait, but this is the thing. I did not because I didn't want to be a father. So the truth of the matter is, before my last girlfriend, my
Uh-huh.
first girlfriend got pregnant.
Before your last girlfriend, your first girlfriend got pregnant.
Yep, I had 2,
Okay, and
and she got pregnant and it wasn't my kid. So for like 6 months, I was rubbing her belly, telling everybody how I'm about to be a father and blah 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 blah. Um, and it wasn't my kid. So I was definitely ready to be a father. I was. I only accepted not. I only accepted not having the kid when the other person said, that they not sure if they wanted to do it because they were in school. And truthfully, I didn't. I didn't want to impede her life based on where I currently was because
wait a
truthfully,
minute. So
she
you
could.
wanted to have the kid. She didn't want to have the kid.
I was. It's a different. No, it's not that I was ready to have children. So I'm not. I didn't because I view it as we were a team. So I kind of wanted what she wanted. So that's how I would put it. I wanted what she wanted. So if she said she wanted to have the kid, we would have had the kid.
So wait a minute. So you could have had the kid if you decided to.
I wanted the kid if she wanted to be a mother at that time, if she was ready, and she said, you know what, let's do this, I would have did it. But she clearly was not ready, and
But did you want to have the kid?
I wanted kids. See, this is what you're
I
doing.
just want to know,
This
did
what
you
you
want to have the
doing.
kid?
This is what you're doing.
Did you want to have the kid?
But-
Sorry guys, our live got cut off. We just getting back on the live. Share the live. Get back on it. We be done in 40 minutes, but we had to finish till 11 o'clock. All right, go ahead.
So,
did you want to have? Did you
before-
want to have the kid?
Before I met her, I wanted children.
No. I want to know
See,
when
that's
she
what
was
you-
pregnant at that time, nigga. When she was pregnant, did you want to keep the child? That's what I want to know. Did you want the child that she had in her stomach? Did you express to her, I want to keep this child? See, nigga don't want to answer the question because he know the answer to the question.
Well, all right. So look, now, but see, I'll say this, right? So if you were to ask me that today, which you are, of how I would have, if it were to happen to me today, I would have responded differently. I would have said, yes, emphatically, yes, I wanted to keep the child. Yes, I did. But at that time, and circumstances of what they were, and me not, you always don't know what you don't know. I would have probably had a different demeanor or a different action as far as what I wanted. But at that time, it was her choice, her decision of what I truthfully wanted.
So, you wanted the kid, she didn't want the kid, and now you don't have the kid because she didn't want the kid. And you still believe in the woman's right to choose.
I do, because I'm not. I don't. I put it to you like this: we not together, and I
gotta do anything
because this is what it has to do with. In my perfect world, I would prefer to be with someone that I have children with, as opposed to me have a child with someone and I'm not with them and I'm with someone else. I would prefer it to not be that way. So that's how likely it would have ended up. She would have basically had my kid and I would have loved my child till infinity and beyond. But we wouldn't have been together. And that's not ideally how I would want it to be. A kid wasn't going to keep us together because the problem wasn't a kid.
I'm looking at a 38-year-old man with no children, who wanted children, who wanted to have a child, but who didn't because she wasn't ready, even though you were. How is it fair that the father is not an interested party when it comes to whether his child lives or dies? How is it the mother in her circumstances the only thing that counts? Because she's going to be pregnant for 9 months. 9 months, less than a year. She got to go through a pregnancy. So now the whole rest of that kid's life only is up to her. That's some old propaganda bullshit.
Well, I don't blame the government for that.
Yeah, I do.
I don't blame.
I blame
the
I do.
I don't blame the government for that because the government.
You don't because you're a Democrat.
And
And they run on abortion and pro-choice.
The government didn't make me lay down and sleep with her. They didn't. And at the end
They didn't make her lay down to sleep with you either.
okay, so
They also didn't make her not use over the 10 different forms of birth control she could have used.
Nor me. Nor me.
You went inside her, brother. She ain't go inside your body. You went inside her body. It's a difference. You don't want to start. Oh, you get all the blame. Yeah, I could have did.
Well,
but
I'm not
but now
saying,
when she get pregnant, she get all of the decision and say. You can't have it both ways. You can't get none of the blame, but all of the say.
what I'll say is, I simply. I wanted children, but I wasn't as forceful of wanting at that time. So I put it like this: if it were to happen at this point in my life, I would probably be a little more direct with my decision.
It's not your decision though.
It is. I do have a decision. I can voice an opinion about what it is ultimately. I can voice.
You can voice an opinion, but it's still not your decision. It's not your decision because you're pro-choice. You're voting for a party that will not make it your decision ever.
No, but see, but this is the difference. There's a party in which to where that eliminates it from being a discussion.
That's not true though.
It is.
It's not.
If I lived in a state, and if I lived in Alabama, I can name the states. If I lived in Alabama If I lived in da, 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 da,
No, it's not eliminating it from being a discussion. What's happening is we're making the discussion happen before a life is involved. You cannot fuck up. Open your legs. Let a nigga go raw dog. Go raw dog as a nigga. Okay, party and bullshit your life away. Drink, smoke, fuck, and have fun. And then once a life is involved, now all of a sudden you want to get political. No. All of that is supposed to happen prior. Your right to choose should be your right to choose to keep your goddamn legs closed. Your right to choose to get on birth control. Your right to choose to watch who you allow inside you, to not let nobody inside you that you wouldn't have a baby with.
No, you're right, but this is the thing: the world we live in. Number one, people are not perfect. People do not make the best decisions or the best choices, and at the end of the day, that's the reason why we live life, to learn and grow and develop. So, in all honesty, has that ever been a situation that I was ever involved in again? No. But I had to go through it and I had to experience it to understand what it meant to me. And even with how I feel about it, I still remain to say that it's not I'm
Stop
still
with
pro-choice.
the Democratic
I'm
propaganda,
still
please.
pro-choice, bro.
You
I'm
gotta
not.
be that way because you ride hard for the Democratic Party. So now you have to be this pro-choice advocate, even though that pro-choice shit directly affected your life and your future.
I was,
Yes, it did. It did. It did.
Yeah, but I put it like this.
It affected your life and your future.
I put it like this, right? There are many of people in this world that do not have children, and at the end of the day, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna live my life within regret per se, if that is not what God has planned for me. So at the end of the day,
see, now you're going into a different argument, though.
but that applies to my logic and my thinking and
Nobody-
my decision making.
Yeah, nobody's asking you to regret. You got to live with your decisions.
Yes.
What I'm asking you is to admit that the pro-choice argument fucked your life up.
Well, so again, my answer is no. I wouldn't say it messed my life up.
Not fucked your life up, but
It changed my
severely
life.
redirected your future.
See, you using strong words. I'll say it changed.
Severely changed.
I wouldn't say severely.
Strongly.
I wouldn't say severely, because the reality is what it allowed me to do is focus on being a better son to my mother. It allowed me to apply that time and that energy, which if I were to have a family, back into my more so immediate current family. So at the end of the day, I came in this world with family, and I still have them, and that's how I have to look at it, and that's how I will look at it. So,
You know, brother, I feel for you. I feel for you. I really do, because in the face of just truth, you still feel like you have to be biased to your party. And the reality of the matter is, the very real fact of the matter is, it shouldn't just be a woman's choice alone, because to think about her, not only independent of you and if you're ready and how you feel and that being your child, but independent of the child and his future, is supremely, overtly, irrationally, and despicably selfish. It is selfish. The entire pro-choice argument is selfish. When you actually dissect the narrative, it's my body, my choice, my life, my. It's fucking selfish, bro. It is the definition of selfish. And yet we have a party, the Democrats, who are pushing this selfish ass mindset and this selfish ass agenda and playing on women's feelings and emotions and telling them it's okay for you to be a selfish asshole. It's okay for you to only think about yourself and not nobody else involved. It's okay. That shit is wrong. It's fundamentally wrong. And we're not even getting into the actual history of it and the eugenics argument and how they put 78% of abortion facilities in your communities and how they literally showed you they were going to use abortion to wipe you out, and how abortion is definitely black genocide. You go to blackgenocide.org, they'll school you up on it, and how abortion disproportionately affects the black community, how abortion disproportionately has taken the lives of black people in America more than any other group disproportionately, how we've lost half the black population since Roe vs. Wade. We're not even getting into that and that. We're just getting into the fact that that's some selfish shit. And your boys is running on the selfish ass platform.
I put it like this, right? If you were to poll half of America, they support Roe vs. Wade. They do. And I would say the majority of those people actually voting for it are women. And we live in a country that is predominantly more, I think the United States is like 54% women. So they are the majority. So with statistics or percentages playing factor here, the country overwhelmingly supports Roe versus Wade. I can say that, you know what, it can because everybody's situation is different. So I've never necessarily been involved with someone, and I personally feel if they were to have gotten pregnant, it would have been an argument that if I said let's have children, I want to have children. And that's not any arrogance or any cockiness, but of my situations that I've had, it wasn't done because, you know, I didn't want it or something like that. It was done because we looked at logistically, we looked at financially or growth wise, it wouldn't be beneficial at that person's life for them to do it. Now, granted, yes, could I have
that's selfish
basically,
though, right?
I'll say there's a level of I'll put it like this. There was a level of selfishness on my part because I didn't take any part in trying to convince her otherwise. I didn't. And truth be told, I probably didn't because I was unsteady about having children. I wasn't the person in which that I am now. And it is what it is. So there's accountability on both sides.
All right.
And she didn't, and when we had sex, I didn't give her the heads up like, hey, I'm going to nutty you tonight, so be ready. And I know. She don't know, but I know. And that's the reason why I say her body, her choice. Because I don't give the consent.
I feel for you, brother.
Yeah.
I feel for you. I feel for you, man. I got 3 beautiful kids, a beautiful wife, and, you know, I feel like every man should be able to have some children in his life. And
I got many nieces and nephews, and
yeah, you know, I'm just, and it ain't over for you. You can still
absolutely. Yes.
You got a long life to live.
Yes,
you got a long life to live. So we gonna hope God blesses you with some children, but more importantly, we gonna hope that bitch is not is not selfish, and that she is not caring about herself.
I dig it.
Okay, that's what we gonna hope.
I dig it.
So Kamala. Let's get into your dog. Kamala Harris.
Absolutely.
Give me and I don't want to hear because she black.
Okay.
Give me the quintessential reasons you feel like Kamala Harris would be a good president for black people and for the United States. Boom, fix that.
I would say they said she was left of Bernie Sanders. So the reality is, I truthfully support Medicaid for all. I do. I believe everybody in this country should have health care. And at the end of the day, man, I'm wise enough and smart enough to understand that when you live in a country that is predominantly not of the group that wants to have health care for all, you kind of gotta learn how to play this game. So she said she was for Medicare for all. Joe Biden was for Medicare for all. Well, no, let me back. He wasn't. She was. Bernie was. There it is. So Bernie was for Medicare for all.
What's your definition of Medicare for all?
Everybody have health care.
Okay, at the expense of who?
Us. I'm at the expense.
That's socialism.
But this is what you said. What do I like about her?
Right, but you just said you don't like socialists.
I didn't.
You said you're a capitalist.
I am,
and you don't like socialists, and you
not,
don't want the government doing anything for you.
But I'm not selfish. So that's the thing. I may not be that. Example, right? So Mark Cuban right now is endorsing Kamala Harris.
What's a game?
So with him endorsing her, Mark Cuban is a billionaire. The tax in which that the Democrats want to institute on those that are wealthy is above $400,000 or something along those lines. He is well above that mark. So now, granted, he's probably going to get loopholes and all that other stuff, but the point I make here is sometimes you have to make sacrifices for the greater good of others. And as corny as that may sound, that is the fucking truth. So I don't support socialism. But I'm not selfish enough to say because I can take care of myself, fuck everybody else.
You support socialism when it comes to healthcare only?
When it comes... I would say yes.
See, because
I would say yes.
My whole thing is socialist tenets are very evident in this country with everything except for what can help the people. So socialism is fine when you're taking all of our money to give to Ukraine, when you're taking all of our tax dollars to give to Israel, when you send in our money to go fight proxy wars around the world, then socialism is fine. Then you want to use the collective funds of the American populace to fight wars.
The vast majority.
But when we say use the collective funds of the American populace to make sure we all have health care or food on the table, then all of a sudden socialism bad, capitalism good.
Well, so this is the reality of the world or the country we live in. And although many like to say, or not, I'm not saying many, some say, America is a place in which that other countries laugh at. The truth of the matter is America is the hammer and other countries, unfortunately, are the nail. And when it comes to that situation right there, there's a lot of advancement. There's a lot of opportunity. That's why they call it the land of opportunity. That I see people breaking into this motherfucker, not running from this motherfucker. So that doesn't happen by mistake. That is based on the fact of there's more advancement here. So truth be told, you can't allow other countries to be invaded. You can't allow dismay to happen in other places that can truthfully hinder your allies. And at the end of the day, a lot of the economic dismay we may have in this country is due to wars in other countries which we did not fucking start. So people can say, we should have stayed home.
No, we did start a lot of them though.
Well, as far as Ukraine, we
started that too.
Well, I look at it like this.
We tried to expand NATO over into Ukraine. We the ones who
supported the coup.
We supported a coup to overthrow the Ukrainian government, which was democratically elected, which was largely, loyal to Russia. We supported a coup to overthrow them and put some fringe right-wing militant regime in there, okay, who was not loyal to Russia. And then Russia said, until you get them motherfuckers out of here, we going to war. America was behind that whole shit, which is why they felt an obligation to fund that war.
So this is what I would ask you, right? And this is how I look at everything. I told my coworker the other day that after this election, a lot of these wars are going to cease to exist. So my question in which that I pose, even though I know you're the host, so you asked the question, but I want to throw this at you. When that coup occurred, who was not even who was president? Was that under Joe Biden?
No.
Okay. So the point I would make here is Vladimir Putin specifically did this, not because of that coup. He did it because Joe Biden was president. I feel like the coup was under
Obama, though.
Oh, so you figure that was basically Barack Obama, Donald Trump, then Joe Biden. So that's virtually almost 12 years right there. and he decides now to do it, and that's because
You
I
know what?
believe
Let me check that. It might have been under Biden though.
I believe in election interference. I do. I guarantee. I would bet almost everything I have that Vladimir Putin would prefer Donald Trump to be president. I would bet it. So in all honesty,
Oh yeah, it was Obama.
So
it was Obama. Yeah,
yep,
2014.
and Putin didn't go in there then.
Yeah, it was
So
Obama.
at the moment when somebody punched you in your face, you ain't do nothing. You waited 12 years. And
Nah, but
because
they
you
were
wanna
trying
get
to
your buddy
negotiate,
back,
though.
You want to get your buddy back in office.
No, they was trying to negotiate though. Once the coup happened, they been trying to negotiate. You know, and you know, nobody wants to go to war.
They weren't going to allow Ukraine to be a part of NATO. They thought that was a corrupt government.
Bro, Ukraine is a part of NATO. What are you talking about?
No, it's not. No, it's not. They want to join. They are not a part of NATO. And that's the reason why Putin went there, because you know what? They were threatening
No,
joining.
Russia's not a part of NATO.
Ukraine is not a part of
Hold on,
NATO.
let me check that. I think Ukraine is a part of NATO.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. They want to join.
Okay, they're not a part of NATO. But America is trying to get them a part of NATO. They joined a partnership for peace with NATO. They joined the NATO-Ukraine Commission in 97. NATO-Ukraine Commission in 97. The NATO-Ukraine Action Plan in 2002. And entered into NATO's Intensified Dialogue Program in 2005.
Yeah, talk.
Yeah, I'm just.
They want to join.
But
the point here is Poland. A lot of the European countries do not want it to go back to the old Soviet Union days.
Them niggas is encroaching.
And look, Ukraine is basically now in Russia, but Russia basically
Ukraine been Russia.
No, I'm saying they became their own sovereignty, and it's almost like Taiwan and China. And I pay attention to all of this shit. So at the end of the day, when you are the hammer, and you come into agreements or treaties with these other countries, you have to respect them and live by them. As simple as that. So we that live in this country can say, hey, just stay the fuck home. And then when they basically decide to build the fuck up over there, and then we get attacked, and it's sad, and I don't even care. It's sad, but it's almost like we need a damn rocket to hit this fucking country. Because truth
this is not the sentiments of the DJ Focus podcast.
Truth be told, when 9/11 happened, the country moved completely different as far as how we felt to a degree.
Do you think 9/11 was an inside job?
Honestly, I never looked that far. I looked at the fact that another country that does not like the United States decided to basically cause harm to those in which that lived here. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. If I look at history over the past couple years of how I believe it, I don't know if it was Iran, I think it might have been Afghanistan, how they feel about America, I don't believe at all that it wasn't something in which that they concocted to happen from their country to ours.
So you do think it was an inside job?
What, as far as the plane?
Yeah, like 9/11. Yeah. Do you think Bush and them was down with it? Think it was an inside job? Or do you think it was the story that they told, that these hijackers used box cutters, took over the plane, and took down the World Trade Center?
I think this, right? I was in school, and I remember being brought out onto the lawn, and this was in New Jersey, brought out onto the lawn because they didn't want us in the building, because they're like, planes are flying in the fucking buildings. That something horrible happened on 9/11. I never looked into whether Bush
was a part of it.
Was a part.
It was definitely an inside job. Let me ask you, what do you think about Gaza and Israel? Have you looked into that?
I think I have, and I actually spoke to one of my fr- I spoke to one of my friends about it, and he's Muslim. I struggle harming innocent people. So, truth be told, I believe there's a better way to go about finding justice for what you believe in. So, like, truth be told, Iran has I forget the number, but they have missiles, they have artillery, they have an armory, they have an army. So if they really wanted to support the Palestinian people, if they really wanted to basically help Hamas take down Israel, then you know what? They should have basically attacked Israel. That's what they should have did. I don't believe in taking random people as hostage. Now,
So
granted,
you agree with Israel?
no, I don't. No, I don't. It makes
Because I'm talking about Israel and Gaza. I ain't talking about Iran.
yeah, but Iran
Nah,
supports.
propaganda.
They do. What do you?
Propaganda.
Iran.
Propaganda.
I don't believe this.
Propaganda.
I don't.
We've
Believe
been trying
that.
to go to war with Iran for years. We've been trying to go to war with Iran. Netanyahu been trying to go to war with Iran for years.
Iran. The United States has been trying to go-
Propaganda. Right now, there is a military genocide war against the people of Palestine and Gaza,
I agree.
committed by the Israelis in America. And I want to know what you think on that. I ain't talking about Iran.
I believe it's like this, right? There's smart war, and then there's just dumb war. If you want to say to me that Iran has nothing to do with this and Iran is going to have nothing to do with it going forward, I would say it's even stupider of Hamas or those within the Gaza region to even want to be a part of this operation. Israel is significantly bigger. Israel is significantly financially backed. So it was a war. It was a conflict in which that they could not win.
But they didn't start the conflict,
my point here, it's not about that. If you are going to even try to upthrow another government, at least be able to do it.
They didn't try to overthrow them, though.
What do you think they want to do?
Bro, they never
They want their land back that Israel has taken.
Yeah, but they never tried to overthrow them, though. That's the difference.
And for you to take that land back, you're going to have to overthrow them.
No.
What do you mean no?
No, they're not. First of all, there's plenty of Palestinians who believe in the two-state solution. That's first
Not
of all.
all of them. They want their land
But
back.
there's plenty who do believe in the two-state solution. And right now, they don't want land back. They want a ceasefire. And
I bet.
Right? Yeah. So that's not the thing. October 7th didn't happen because a few people hopped over some fences and thought they were going to overthrow the Iron Dome in Israel government. Right, exactly. Now, you may have fundamentalists who believe in the correctness of getting their land back from the river to the sea. You may have fundamentalists who believe in that being the most moral path, okay, and that the world should agree with them as the victims of human rights violations, as the victims of, an occupation, as the victims of apartheid, that they have a right to protest, to fight, to espouse the belief that they should be freed from the tyranny of Israel, yes. But that don't mean that they're arming up to overthrow them. Like, that's not what's happening here. In fact, about what's happening is the exact opposite. Israel is the one encroaching on Palestinian land, and Israel is the one who is trying to overthrow out Palestinian governments. They overthrew the PLO. Well, not overthrew them, but they worked against the PLO by funding Hamas in the first place. The number one funders of Hamas was Israel. Israel funded Hamas against.
Would you put this again, right? So I told you I don't deal within conspiracy theories. So would you that would fall under that category?
What, if it's conspiracy theory?
Because Netanyahu would dispute the fact of
Netanyahu's a war criminal.
My point of what I'm saying here is I deal within or I try to, because you know what, I don't see everything and I don't know everything. But within things in which that there's a belief of, the reason that conflict exists of what it does, you have two powerful religions standing next door to each other. And
No, that's not what happened.
that's a religion, that's a religious war.
That's not a religious war. It's not.
That's what do you think is
It's
over?
not. It's not a religious war.
So what do you think is over?
It's a proxy war by the West to have a foothold in the region, and they're using the Jews to do it. The Zionist movement, many of them are atheists. Many Zionists are atheists.
So what?
They don't even believe in Judaism, and they're definitely not espousing the tenets of Judaism. The war itself is a result of Britain and France and carving up the Ottoman Empire, okay, after the First World War, carving up the Ottoman Empire and basically giving like Lebanon, Iraq, Jordan, and Syria to Britain, and then they Palestine and like southern Iraq and which one? Another one to you know, no, they were given to France, and then Palestine and all of that was given to Britain. So when the Palestinians got done, it was called the Sykes-Picot Agreement. But when the Palestinians got pretty much done with them, I mean the Britain got done with governing the region, whatever you will. They basically used the Zionists and imported them over from Europe over into Palestine, and basically said, look, this is y'all the Jews, this is y'all land, blase, blase, boom, boom, boom. But when they did that implicitly knowing and understanding that they would be displacing millions of Palestinians, and that's where you get the Nakba from. You know what I mean? They came in there and they displaced a whole bunch of Palestinians from the 40s, okay? And then you had these kind of tries at peace throughout the last 70 plus years, but all of them was really unfair to the Palestinians. They would keep coming with these two-state solutions and being like, all right, look, Israel, y'all get all of this, and then Palestine, y'all get this. You know, they would give Palestine this little small land as opposed to what they would give Israel, and Israel had less of a population than Palestine. That's like me coming into your crib, me taking your shit over, and then me saying, all right, y'all three get the 3 bedrooms, and the 20 of y'all go move into the basement. No, that's not a proper two-state solution. Then you had all throughout this conflict, you know, Israel basically committing war crimes against Palestine, like in the Great March of Return in 2014. They killed hundreds of Palestinians for peacefully protesting at the wall. Hundreds of them, killed them, murdered them in cold blood.
So this would be my question to you: Why does there have to be a two-state solution?
Many believe that's the only way to find peace.
Why? But I put it to you this way. This is why I say it's a religious war. If they all basically study Judaism,
they don't.
That's my question is: if they all study Judaism, do you think this war will be taking place?
If they all study Judaism?
Yep.
If they follow the tenets of Judaism?
If the Palestinian people basically lived...
No, but that's not the issue. Because
because if they all basically lived under the same culture and the same religion, Israel would not feel the way that they feel towards them. And then Palestine, truthfully, Palestine is saying, I don't need to conform. I don't need to basically live by your journey of life. No, that's not what's
happening. Palestine is saying, y'all are taking us prisoner. Y'all are murdering.
Why are they taking them prisoner?
Because they want their land. They're encroaching on their land. They're occupying the West Bank right now, and the West Bank is still part of Palestine.
Look, it wouldn't be.
They're occupiers.
It wouldn't be their land or my land.
Brother.
It wouldn't be any of that if they all shared the same religion.
No, not true. Because there are Muslims who live in Israel right now. There are yes, there are Muslims who live in Israel.
I know about that work there, but I don't know about
no.
live
There
there.
are Muslims who live in Israel. And guess what? They're under apartheid state. They can't go down certain streets, can't go into certain areas. They can't work at certain jobs, but yet they still live in Israel right now. So it's not just that. What it is straight up old school colonialism, old school conquest, old school. We gonna take your shit. The same way we took the country from the Native Americans, the same way they took Israel from the Palestinians. It's encroaching. Right now, they leveled Gaza. They destroyed, killed almost, conservatively, 40 or 50,000 Palestinians, women, children, and men. Okay, many of whom who were children, because 50% of the population of Gaza is under 18. So many of which who were children, okay? They wiped them out, they flattened it, and now if you ask any Israeli, well, who's going to govern Gaza now? We will. We're going to govern Gaza. We're going to take over there. So what you do? You murdered people, you destroyed them, you flattened their land, and now you're taking over and saying Gaza is now about to be part of Israel. It's the same thing they're doing in the West Bank. They're occupying it, and they're putting up buildings and edifices and apartments and soldiers in there, and they're saying, look, the West Bank is now a part of Israel. So what they're doing is encroaching and trying to widen the
make the country bigger.
They trying to make the country bigger.
But what I would say
so it ain't got nothing to do with just the religious aspect of it.
I would say
Hell no. Because America's backing them, and America's a Christian state.
But this is the thing. This is when I went back and I said to you about treaties earlier. At the end of the day, this is one thing in which that this country respects. They respect treaties, and even there's only not to stay on this, but to slightly get off of it. There's one candidate that said we should probably leave NATO, but the point here is, yes, I do agree that Israel would love to encompass that larger portion of Gaza. I completely agree. I do not agree that it's not within any sentiment of different in religion. I'm not too much in belief in that. I do believe religion plays a factor, and not to say one is right or the other. But the point here is, we have seen that countries, when they are more powerful, i.e. Russia, they try to take smaller countries, i.e. Ukraine. And at the end of the day, I still would not. I don't blame the United States for the non-peace in the Middle East. I don't blame that. I will say over the course of decades and even centuries before we were even here, that we maybe have gotten involved in certain proxy wars to benefit our pockets. And the thing that we don't necessarily realize, that's probably why America is as rich as it is. I had a conversation with someone the other day, and they didn't believe where America ranked as far as a financial institution. They actually said two other countries to me that they thought was more financially bound, and they were wrong. So at the end of the day, it's about money, and it sucks to say it, but it is what it is. Me and you live within a country in which that was stolen. It was. And we're not running around outside saying, get that shit back to them. We not. We going to work. We paying our bills. We taking care of our family. So we can shout to the moon tops about how it was wrong, it was wrong, it was wrong, it was wrong. That shit ain't going to change history.
Yeah, I'm different, though. I do believe in sovereignty of the Native Americans. So,
I believe it, but it ain't going to go back to it.
That's why we have reservations. We have reservations, which is sovereign Indian land, because at the end of the day, people fought to say give it back to them. You know what I mean? Like, so, but it's just that the Indian population was decimated so much that they're so small that we can put them on reservations and say, look, this is sovereign Indian land. Mm-hmm. You know, but as I said to you earlier, I believe in land for us as a people as true reparations to where we have our own sovereign land. So, no.
Yeah, the only problem I have with that is I kind of feel like I think would you say that would further divide the country?
No, no. It would unite us. That's the thing.
No, I believe it would not. Yes, it would unite
right?
us.
Black people, after what we've been through
but
in this
we're not
country,
the only ones here.
black people. I don't care about them. Black people, after what we've been through in this country, we deserve sovereignty. We deserve, people a state and territory of our own. We deserve our own destiny, our own future. We should not be forced and relegated to just get lost within the diaspora of the West after what we've been through.
I agree.
We need our own reparation. We need our own land. We need our own people. And guess what? A lot of us are segregated anyway. We live in Watts and Compton and Long Beach. We live in Brooklyn and, Queens and the Bronx. And we live in our own neighborhoods in Plainfield and New York and Jersey. We live in our own neighborhoods. You feel what I'm saying? And a lot of us are still segregated now. So the idea that segregation would do any more further dividing than we are already divided now. Black people are divided a lot from main society. We're not even going to play those games, okay? So all it would do would give us that impetus to grow and think for ourselves, to have freedom and justice and independence for ourselves. We need that, because as long as we don't have that, will continue to be used by the dominant society. They will continue to use us to, buy the Gucci and buy the Louis and buy the Yves Saint Laurent and buy the Fendi and buy the Prada. They will continue to use us to fill up the prison industrial complex, to fill up the prisons. They will continue to use us to fight their wars throughout the world, wars with countries that we don't have beef with, okay, that aren't our enemies. Okay, they will continue to use us to vote Democrat. They will continue to use us, and for their by big pharma to continue to be sick, live sick, don't get cured, but only get treated. They will continue to use us for monetary gain. They will continue to use us for financial stability. They will continue to use us as a source of revenue. They will continue to use us as a commodity. Until we get our own independence, freedom, justice, equality, bottom line is we will never be free, and we will never reach our or attain our true potential as a people. So we need to have our own. We need to be able to do for self. That is the quintessential basis of freedom, is to be able to do for self and be sovereign. Okay.
So this is the question I would ask you. So if you were to go back to the 1600s and you were to randomly come across a slave and you basically showed them the life in which that you live and compares to the life that they live, would you think they say you live free?
You mean if I was to go back to the 1600s?
If you were to go back to 1600s, 1700s, and you seen a slave? Yeah,
I would say that definitely.
Okay, so
they would say that, but they don't understand it's because they don't understand our slavery. They don't understand.
They probably would never understand it.
Exactly. It's a different kind of slavery. It's a mental slavery. Back then was a physical slavery, and mental too, but it was more of a physical slavery. Today we are mental slaves. So they might not be able to see how we're handcuffed. But if I could explain it to them, then I'm sure they'll be able to see where we lay in the diaspora. It is not a mistake that we got every statistical indicator is higher for us. Highest incarceration rate, highest murder rate, highest abortion rate, highest divorce rate, okay, highest heart disease.
I don't, well.
Yes, highest cancer rate, highest diabetes rate, highest AIDS rate, homicide, whatever. We got the highest abortion, we got the highest rates, and this is because we are not free. We are being guided into a particular path. This is why I said earlier, they put bullets in all of our leaders and then gave us the Democrats. Like a true black leader who is capable of galvanizing the masses of black people is a threat to this quote unquote government. It's a threat to the powers that be, because they want to continue to use you in the same way that they've always used you, and that is as a commodity and a source of revenue. We have to wake up from that particular matrix, and then we'll be able to see exactly how we are confined. We're in a matrix. We're in a system that is designed to make us think we're not in the system. So it's a different kind of system. But we got to get up out of here. It's already past 11 o'clock. I know we could go all night long. We can go all night long. All right. I want to thank my guest, Kurt. We're going to have you come back through here. I want you to come back through if you could, you know, maybe next month or so, whenever you get a free chance. I want you to come back with Quana on the couch and some females, because we're going to get into some things that affect the opposite sexes. And I'm curious to hear your opinion on that. We were going to go into, you know, sex on the first date tonight, and, you know, right, and does having more than one baby father, is that a red flag? But I didn't want to go into that with no women on the couch. So I wanted to wait for that, you know what I'm saying, for we could get some women on the couch, and then we could go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry the live was messed up. I don't know if we got all of our viewers back or not, or whatever the case may be. You know, black people is funny. You know, when we talking about can you turn a hoe into a housewife and shit like that, comments is flooding. But when you get political, they listen, but they don't comment too much. You know what I mean? We need to
Very interesting.
Yeah, they don't comment too much when you get really political. So we definitely need to open our political third eye as the people and kind of get out of that you know, fringe, you know, bullshit, propagandized way of thinking, to where all we can think about is having fun and, you know, partying and, you know, just topics that are more morally degrading than morally or you know, spiritually enlightening or mentally enlightening. You know, they're more, you know, fun and fluffy. You know, when we have the fun and fluffy topics, we get way more comments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so yeah, it's simple. But when you get into these type of debates and these, you know, theological, intense, you know, sparring sessions, okay, where you having, you know, soliloquies that are well thoughted and, you know, well thought out and well researched and, you know, well discussed, it's hard for them to keep up sometimes. But it does make for great shorts, and it does make for great, you know, clips on Instagram and on TikTok. So, absolutely. You know, because, you know, people do like listening to truth and power. So with that being said, I'm going to let you get a little final word in real quick, and then we're going to get up out of here.
Well, I want to say thank you.
Appreciate it.
I appreciate it. I honestly hope that I am invited again. I'll definitely be a little more sharper. I'll definitely be a little more keener. I've never done a podcast before, so you are my first.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate it. I know how to get you on here. I enjoyed
it, so thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, man, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for listening. Those who commented, those who listened, we appreciate y'all. Our YouTubers, our Twitchers, our Facebookers, we love y'all so much, man. Next week, Quana will be back. She had a little car issue today, but she'll be back next week. We'll have some beautiful ladies on the couch next week, and we'll get into some more fluffy topics for y'all, since we know that's what y'all like. But I'm gonna still hit y'all with some politics too, and we gonna get smart on y'all. Big shout out to our IT guy, my son, my main man, for holding it down behind the scenes. We appreciate it. We appreciate him. This is our first week back after basically a 3-week hiatus. So, you know, we gonna let y'all get back into the groove. Summertime is almost up. Fall is coming. You know, in fall and winter, y'all be in the house any damn way. So, you know, y'all always get a lot more active on the podcast in the fall and the winter. But make sure y'all follow me on all social media platforms at The Real DJ Focus. That's Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Snapchat, and all of the rest. And look for our clips and our shorts on those platforms. Make sure y'all comment, like, and discuss. Appreciate the love. DJ Focus Podcast, we out.
So why you part-time and suck, bitch? Just keep calling out of work. Got put in work. Work.